How many people here want to become anxious in their life? I'm sure that there would be nobody. I am also anxious. I am anxious here talking to you. I'm not sure whether I will be able to communicate my message properly. I'm not sure whether I will be able to survive the pressure. Because I have faced these situations in my life. There was a point in my life when I faced a lot of social anxiety. There was a time in my life that whenever something happened which included a lot of people, I would just run away from that situation. When I got my first job, I again became anxious. I thought that I will not be able to handle that kind of pressure. But now the situation is slightly different. At that time I had anxiety, and I have anxiety right now as well. But right now, after doing lot of research, after trying lot of methods, after meeting lot of people, I have realized that anxiety makes sense. And the moment I had that realization, my attitude, my perspective towards anxiety changed. I have met lot of people, and one thing which I found is that people just had one wish. They said that they want to get rid of anxiety, and I realized that it is not possible. Anxiety is not a disease. Many people say anxiety is a disease. Some people say that anxiety is an emotion. But I feel that neither of them are true. I feel that anxiety is an emotion in the brain, like there is happiness, like there is fear, like there is hatred. Similarly, there is a feeling called anxiety. And if you remove this anxiety, then life would be unimaginable. It is because of anxiety that all of us are here. It is because of anxiety that something pushes us so we get up on time. It is because of anxiety that we don't miss the flight. It is because of anxiety that when we cross the street, we look at both the sides. If there were no anxiety, life would not make any sense. Give a person credit $10 million to his account and remove the chemical of anxiety, remove the emotion of anxiety from his brain. He will become totally careless. He will just become in a very casual mode, because nothing will push him. Nothing will tell him that it is important to do exercise. Nobody will tell him that it is important to have some kind of restriction on your diet. It is because of anxiety that we take responsibility for our life. It is because of anxiety that we take responsibility for our actions. So there is no point in running away from anxiety. Let me give you an analogy. Suppose there is a ship. In a ship there are two main components. One of them is the captain of the ship, which is the logical mind, thinking mind, somebody who takes decisions, somebody who steers the ship. Then there is a second part, which is the crew, the subconscious mind, which just triggers things. It just triggers messages to the captain. Right, something is wrong. There is a storm ahead, so be careful. Then it will say that you can go ahead. Now the things are proper. So this crew I call subconscious mind. Right, the captain is the conscious mind, and this crew, it will keep on triggering the emotions. It will say things are proper. It will sometimes give you a warning, don't go there. So this is the job of the crew. But if we ignore the crew, then we will never be able to listen to the captain. Right, the captain is there to guide us, help us, but the subconscious will keep on triggering emotions. And if we ignore the subconscious mind totally, subconscious mind will generate emotion. Subconscious mind, the crew, will generate feelings of anxiety. It does that to give us security. Anxiety is generated to provide us protection. Right, so it is very important. It is anxiety which will tell us that don't go there, something is seriously wrong. But a little limitation of anxiety is that sometimes it works on past maps. Suppose you were in the school in the 7th standard, you raised your hand with some idea in your mind, you made a mistake, and your school teacher, she said something very bad, and everybody started laughing. So now that map is stored in the brain, in your subconscious mind, with your crew. Now whenever in the office there is a meeting and you have some idea and you want to raise your hand, but that old map will keep on playing, right? So this is a bit of a limitation with anxiety. So sometimes things which are not important, we feel that these are also very important. So this is something which requires management. We need to manage the anxiety. So whenever anxiety comes, we need to just relax. We need to think. We need to evaluate. And the more you do that, the better you will become at managing it. This is what I did. As I said, that I became very, very anxious when I started my job. So whenever there was a pressure situation, I used to just fight or flight. I used to fight with that person or I used to run away. But when I understood, after doing a lot of research with meditation, energy healing, mindfulness, doing yoga, pranayam, reading a lot of books, I realized that whenever the pressure comes, just take a deep breath, analyze the situation. This anxiety is for your good. It is trying to protect you, right? So I started managing anxiety. I did not get rid of anxiety. There were three main things which I did, which helped me manage my anxiety, understand the anxiety in a better manner. The first one was I started believing that anxiety is not a disease. I don't have anxiety disorder, as many people label that. Anxiety is not a disease. It is an emotion, an important emotion in our life which we can never get rid of. This is exactly what I tell to people in my corporate sessions, stress management session. So this was the first point. Second point was that I started to listen to the crew, to my subconscious mind. Whenever my subconscious mind said anything, I just listen. I just sit peacefully. I take deep breaths, analyze each and every message. Maybe, as I said, sometimes subconscious mind works based on the past maps. I just analyze with my rational mind. I let my captain take the decision. So I just don't oppose my crew every time. I just understand to them. I just listen to them, right? So that was the second part, that I started listening to the subconscious mind, to the crew. Later on, the last point is I became more considerate towards them. I considered my crew as my friend. Imagine that there is a manager and he keeps on telling his workers that you are stupid, you don't know how to work, right? So whenever anxiety comes, we keep on telling it that it's headache. I just hate this anxiety. I just hate this situation. No, I don't do that. Now I consider anxiety as my friend. Now if somebody comes, misbehaves with me, if there is a very tricky situation, I just say, okay, it has come, this feeling is triggering, it is doing it for my protection. So now I consider anxiety and all the emotions, my crew, my subconscious mind as my friend. So it is very, very important, my dear friends, that you consider, don't become anxious about anxiety. It is an important element. It is an important emotion in our life, and we will never be able to get rid of it. It is impossible. The best way is to manage your anxiety. And whenever you are anxious, it means that the work you are doing, the situation you are into is very important. It makes sense, and it is anxiety which is helping you to be careful and to do things in a proper manner. I hope that now you will get your outlook and perspective towards anxiety will change, as my perspective has changed. Thank you so much, and share this message across as many people as possible. Thank you.